Sometimes when Shugri Said Salh is running errands in Sonoma, California, where she currently lives, she says she has visions of her former life as a young nomad in Somalia. For example, one day, while eating sushi in front of Whole Foods, she spotted a customer carrying an African-style basket and a water jug, and suddenly she was transported. Instantly, I was standing in front of my desert hut, eyes fixed on the scorching terrain, she writes in her memoir, The Last Nomad, Coming of Age in the Somali Desert, recalling the incident. The book, published in August, chronicles Salh's journey from her childhood in Somalia, where she and her family lived as goat and camel herders, to her life as a nurse and mom of 3 in the US. Between those phases, Salh, 47, faced challenge after challenge. She underwent female genital mutilation, a rite of passage for girls in her tribe. She fled with her family to the border of Kenya in 1991 following the outbreak of war in her country. Then in 1992, she and her family emigrated to Canada, where they had to adapt to a new way of life, eventually resettling in the U.S. in 1999. Yet through these hardships, Salh found a way to survive and even thrive. We spoke to her about bridging 2 very different worlds and passing on her nomadic knowledge to her children. This interview has been edited for length and clarity. Your parents sent you at the age of 6 to live with your grandmother in the Somalian desert. They lived in the city, but they wanted you to learn the ways of your nomadic heritage. Describe who nomads are in Somalia. People who live in the desert who have livestock, such as camels, goats and cows, and who are one with the environment. We were constantly in pursuit of grazing land or water. Our life depends on the rain cycle. No rain means no grazing land and no food for our animals, and ultimately that means no food for us. What did you love about being a nomad? Sitting by the fire, nibbling on meat from a goat that was just slaughtered. Listening to stories, poems and riddles passed down from generation to generation. I loved waking up to the sounds of goats bleating and camels bellowing. There was also the time I tried to ride an ostrich. That didn't work out so well. Your grandmother arranged for you at age 8 to undergo female genital mutilation. In your culture, it is seen as a way to preserve virginity before marriage. You wrote in your book that you did not want to show fear and disrespect to her at the time, so bravely went through with the procedure. What was that like? How do you feel about it now? It was really hard. But I wanted to give readers insight into why a culture would do this. If I did not go through FGM, I would have been ostracized. Kids would have picked on me. At my school, children would accuse each other of not being circumcised. And then you had to go into a corner and flash each other to prove you were. We were superior to uncircumcised girls.